do you accept the slave trade actually existed?
Sorry, your line's a bit choppy. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, I'm asking you, you and your organization accept that the slave trade actually existed?
Oh, do we accept that the slave trade actually existed? We
Correct.
don't accept that there was a trade. There was kidnapping, but my last video, if you haven't seen that, where I was speaking with the elder, I explained that it has been distorted and greatly exaggerated to be more than what it really was. But there was definitely and certainly a kidnapping that was done, both the two predominant ones in the 1600s and in the 1400s and the 1600s. So yes, but not in the way that his story relays it and how it's
Well,
been.
could you explain to me what was this exchange?
There was no exchange. That's why I said it was a kidnapping. That's why we
No,
avoid the
well,
word.
this no, this is what I would like for you to explain. What was the kidnapping? How did that go about?
How did it go about? Okay,
Yeah.
much like what's happening today, yeah, where you have people that go into other countries. We've seen it in recent times with, say, for example, America or any of the superpowers going into a country, and sometimes they're coming to do business, talk to people, and in fact, they didn't even really know much about what was going on in Africa because we're dealing with Europe and the Western world. They came to Africa, and when they saw how the Africans were living, initially it was like, we come in peace, we want to do trade, and it was by what's the word I'm looking for? It was deception that they came back and told the rest of the people in Europe that we found this place or we've been to this place, and the people there have all these resources and they live in a particular way, and they came back with weapons and with ships and with cannons, and it was like they were caught off surprise, they were caught off guard, and then some of the chiefs.
You believe that stuff, bro?
Bro, it's not all about belief. It's like there's evidence. There's evidence around.
Where is the? I mean, show me one slave ship.
What do you mean, show me one slave ship? I'm not.
No, well, I mean, we were supposed to have been chattel slaves.
No, but
put on boats.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you saying is your question that it didn't exist? Is that what you're saying?
More or less.
Okay, then. So, how did the continent get subjugated?
No, you mean what? You speak about continental drift?
No, the continental drift. The continental drift actually explains that people weren't taken by ships because there were people on either side before the continental drift. But what I'm saying to you is like, okay, let me give you an example. There's talk today in the news, right, of the American government saying in Nigeria, for example, yeah, that people are killing a religious group such as Christians, and that a threat is made to say that they're going to take action and send troops there, right? And I'm saying, we as an organization, we're not a religious group, so we're not Christians or Muslims or, Jewish or whatever, because these are the things that cause wars and cause divisions amongst people, religious beliefs. And I'm saying that if they go into that country today, which is a sovereign nation, right, and they take their wars and guns and army and they go and fight and subjugate the people and put them as prisoners of war or whatever way you want to use to say, they would take you. And now, even in Ukraine and Russia is going on right now. So I'm saying there were many wars that took place by foreign invaders coming into Africa, right? It depending on how far back you want to go, we can talk about, they teach you this in history, and they talk about.
Could I get a word in?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Well, the main reason why I'm bringing up this particular subject is because there is a division growing between the so-called African Americans or the Afro-Americans and the so-called indigenous Africans, where the so-called Afro-Americans are saying that they were not taken from Africa. They're indigenous to that landmass.
And there's truth to that. And this is what we're saying. This is where misinformation and divisions come in, because they're both right and they're both wrong at the same time. And what I mean by that is you're not from where you are based or where you're located. Yeah. What determines who you are, right, scientifically is based on your DNA. So what you will find is that both people have shared DNA. And the scientists today have classified that, as I said previously, the Homo naledi and the Homo habilis. So you've got two people on two sides that are the same people, same family, same DNA, same blood. But because of the continental drift, you had those that remain on one side of the division of water, and you have others that remain on the other side. Just like people that were taken from Africa into, say, Jamaica or to Europe, they were told.
No, but
let me finish, please.
With all due respect, this is
finish?
the point in which I'm trying to get across. That never happened, bro. We were already on that landmass.
Okay, what I'm saying is both. It's not just one thing. So yes, you were already on the landmass, which is what I've just explained, that the divisions meant that the same people from the same bloodlines and DNA, right, are on two sides, and they say some are right. Like, okay, let's look at the Americans, right? The Americans, when they start looking at the original inhabitants there, right, they're going to trace that back to, say, the Olmecs or even the Pataites, right? And then you had people that came from where it was China, basically, right? They came and mixed in by the dynasty.
Ushen.
Yes, exactly. And they mixed with those Olmecs to produce the Native Americans, which today people call American Indians, right? And the different tribes. But the original people there were African, right? That's not a dispute. I'm not disputing that. But what I'm saying is not everyone that has come over, even in recent time, came over by way of the continental drift. So I'm saying there are people, even in wars, like they take refuge in other countries, so yes, I agree with you that the slavery, in terms of the way it's been written in history, is exaggerated, and there are, fictitious stories and exaggerations and distortions as well. And this is why I'm saying both stories are correct.